What's going on, George? I'm glad you took the time out today to kind of sit with us and kind of tell us something that a lot of people don't really understand. As we said in the post, we were just talking and you told me that credit repair can actually lower somebody's credit score. How is that possible?
Well, basically, if people don't understand the anatomy of credit and how credit really works and how the credit reporting agencies truly judge the information on your credit report, I think that people can really do a big injustice by treating your credit report like a chop shop and just actually removing things that they shouldn't really remove. That some items on your credit report still have value. You know, you might have an auto loan that's been on there for 6 years. You may have had 7 or 8 slow payments on there, but you did pay it off, which is worth 30%. You did have 6 years worth of history, which is worth 15%. Now you may have lost 35% because you didn't pay it on time the whole 60 or 72 months. But by someone deleting that trade line, you just lost an actual something for a creditor to evaluate your credit worthiness, and that now can significantly hurt you because you don't have any auto credit. You need every piece of credit that you can on your credit report. You know, the thing about it is people have to understand that credit report is not evaluated by the way they think it should be evaluated. They're not the bank. The banks look to FICO, which is the people that create the algorithm that create the credit score. It's not that person living next to you or living down the street that creates the algorithm. They don't loan money, the bank does. So you got to make sure that you got an expert who really understands how that credit report works and creates the value. If not, you are just submitting your financial life to somebody who don't know what they're doing. And how is their credit score? How much money do they have in the bank? What kind of 401k savings do they have? What kind of investments do they have? Who are they? Where is their value at? How many businesses do they own? Or they just say they can hook you up? We got to get past that hookup, and we got to go to the expert who really understands the whole body of how that credit report works.
Okay, so George, you gave me an analogy. You told me about like college transcripts and having a bad report card and a good report card. So can you explain the difference between credit repair and credit restoration?
Well, credit restoration is going to go in again and see the values that's in that report and restore those values, to bring those values back from where it may have been a repossession or a charge off or a defaulted student loan or a foreclosure. And instead of again trying to delete those trade lines, what restoration wants to do is to reverse those negative entries to get them to come back to show positive paid as agreed. By doing that, what that did was, it's like somebody having an F in calculus, a D minus in chemistry, a C minus in calculus and English and things like that. Instead of deleting those to raise your grade point average, we want to reverse those things or change them to A's. That way you keep your credits and your grade point average goes up, which also reflects to your credit. By us keeping those trade lines, making them positive, they're your trade lines, they're primaries, they're not authorized users that somebody else let you onto their credit for. These are things that now it shows that you have established. By restoring that is bringing back your credit report to a whole higher level that's going to equate to a higher score. Now, repair is only going to delete those things. So somebody's going to delete them. Again, like we previously talked about, it's going to take away a potential credit score, because you're not going to have a credit score because there's not going to be anything to judge because it's all gone. And you just have to really be careful who you turn your financial life over to. Who are they?
So in my case, I give an example. I had a foreclosure.
Right.
You got the foreclosure off on the public record. I want you to kind of talk about that. But the house is still there as paid as agreed, never late, which is about a $200,000 trade since 2007. And everybody that knows me knows that I don't care about sharing my personal business,
right,
because it helps other people. So explain how you deleted and restored in that sense.
Well, basically, the house was probably, I'm taking from what you're saying, it was probably included in the bankruptcy, correct?
Yep.
So therefore, there was a bankruptcy notation in the public record category. So therefore, we want to remove that bankruptcy out of the public record. So if somebody goes to access your credit report, there's no bankruptcy in the public record. That's perfect, okay? That can help you with jobs, can help you with security clearances, that can help you with, getting major credit cards, because no one wants to give you an American Express if you had a bankruptcy. When somebody sees a bankruptcy, even though it's 5 or 6 or 7 years old, what they'll say is that you have the potential to not pay me. You have the potential to include me into some nonsense one day. So therefore, I do not want to take that credit risk on you and to put $50,000 or $10,000 worth of credit in your hands, and then basically, you're not going to pay us. So that's one major infraction on a bankruptcy. The correction that was made was not only just to delete it out your public record. The correction that was made was when it was in your trade line, okay, and it shows Countrywide Mortgage that was included in bankruptcy, discharged. So therefore, we were able to keep the mortgage company, whether it's Bank of America or whoever it was, on your trade line, but extract the negative connotations about it being included in bankruptcy. Now the account stands alone. All the late payments of 30, 60, 90, 40 times or whatever, all that's been removed, and now that account shows paid as agreed, never late, like there was never any issue. See, these are the things that just takes your credit score like a rocket up to the moon, and have you now to be in a position to be able to borrow. This is the time that you got to have your credit on point. You don't have to have the best job. You don't have to make the most money. You need a good credit report. You need a good credit score, because you can go online and apply for stuff. In 15 seconds, these companies are making decisions to give you $20,000 or $30,000. But guess what? They don't have enough time to verify your employment. Next thing you know, it just comes back approved, $20,000, and your card's in the mail. So it's not all the particulars that you think you need. It is having the right company to position your credit report, to posture it, to understand the science behind what FICO is looking for. FICO is the bank's guidance to how much money they're going to lend you. If FICO say you right, the bank's going to give you all the money that you want. And so that's what you got to understand. That's why you got to have the correct shot to put your credit reports back together correctly so you can borrow.
Wow. First of all, we want to thank Tracy, Sabrina, Corey, Portia for you guys sharing this video. Everybody's watching this. People need to know this. People need to be educated on this. So please share this video, like, comment if you have any questions. And one major question I have, and a lot of people ask me this, George, they say, nobody else restores credit. Why don't other companies restore credit? And then because you do what nobody else does, why are you only charging $349 when other companies are charging $100 to $200 a month and $2,000 to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000? Why are you doing that?
Well, first of all, if you can find your passion, you can become a millionaire. If you can find what you want to do, and you got to do it to where poor people can't afford it. That this whole meaning of this business is about the least of these. It's about people who struggle, people who don't have it, the people who need to come up, the people that live in the rural areas, the rural towns, or the single moms that need to be able to help their children. May not getting the support that she needs. By her staying down, sometimes the kids stay down. And by living in rough neighborhoods and not giving them the potential to better themselves, to change school districts, a good credit report will allow them to get out of a bad school district into a good school district. A 640 credit score could change the whole esteem of a woman, the esteem of a man, to put their kids in a different school district, to where them kids got their own room now. Do you realize that just that alone will help them to get promise, to help them to make better grades, to help mom to do better? And it doesn't take much. But if we charging $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000, we're missing a lot of people that really need the help. It's not the people that's in the city that can get a governor elected. It's those people in the rural areas. That's where the folks is at. So the same thing, we got people in the city who needs help, but we got people in this rural areas that can really make a difference in their life financially, and we want to be able to help them. Sometimes, when people don't have the whole 349, we do a split payment for them, but they got to call into the office so that we can really help them to go to the next levels. You know how simple it is? How many people are living in an apartment for 30 and 20 years renting and never buying anything because they don't know? Nobody around them is as successful, so they don't know. And so therefore, when we're able to break these curses and break these cycles, we're able to bring people to a whole nother platform. When this revolution takes place in their mind, for them to be able to understand what success looks like, it becomes an inheritance that transfers from heart to heart. It becomes something that people want to be a part of. And that's what we're about. That's why we have the price so low. That's why we do the work that we do to help. That's why we do the educational calls every Monday night to answer tough questions. People call in here that we ask them questions. People are doing bankruptcies for no reason over a $1,800 garnishment, but they don't realize the penalties of that bankruptcy is going to last 10 years or whatever it may be. People are making just mistakes that they don't have to. They're getting into garnishments where the debt has already been forgiven because it's past the statute of limitations. That's why credit education is so important. And this American greed don't care nothing about you. They don't care that you done worked your fingers to the bone all your life and now you're 65 years old and you don't own a home. Well, how are you going to pay this $1,100 mortgage into your 70s? Or not mortgage, but apartment rent. You can't keep up the work. We have to get this education so we can get ourselves on track. The Frank Dobbs thing, where President Obama had kind of limited the Frank Dobbs so that people cannot just get unnecessary lending, just getting money so easy because it was putting people in financial crunches. Well, this current president is going to loosen up and create the Frank Dobbs to work again so that now they can, get money out there so much more freely and easier. Mortgages are going to come in a lot more easier and different things like that. So what we want to do is basically we want to get prepared for this. We want to put ourselves in position so that we can now be able to really help people to go to the next level. Because see, when you are prepared to get a house now, these housing prices are going to soar. They're going to soar like never before. And we don't want to see you be in a position to where you buying a house 2 years from now or buying a house 3 years from now. Right now, you might be in certain areas, you might be able to buy a house for as little as $145,000. But once this money get freed up, once these mortgage money just starts letting it loose and letting it go, these houses 3 years from now are going to be like $245,000 from $145,000. You don't want to come in and buy on the end of $245,000. You want to be ready now to buy on the end of $145,000. Yeah, they may loosen up money. Yeah, they may want people to fall into the foreclosure market so that these companies can buy all these foreclosures and buy this paper real inexpensive and then sell it back to investors real expensive. But you don't have to lose your homes no more. We understand what that crisis felt like back in 05 and 06 and 07. We don't have to fall back into that bad situation. What we have to do now is to be smarter about how we buy, make sure that we can afford. And another intelligent thing to do is that, we really don't want to sometimes buy a house in both our names. Or we don't want to buy a car in her name and his name together. Because see, when you do that, you tying up your debt ratios. You tying up too much money. So you get a $30,000 car. So there's $30,000 worth of debt on his credit report. There's $30,000 worth of debt on her credit report. And the car payment ain't but $375. But it looks like both of y'all are indebted for $375 apiece. Just one of you buy the car. Okay, then that frees the other person up to make other investments in their ratios. See, that's why we ask you to come to NCES. Because we're going to make sure that we instruct you on how to help to instruct you how to do things, how to leverage yourself. Because people are making mistakes that you can't get yourself out of. Because these financial decisions can really weigh on your financial future. There's all kind of franchises out here, all kind of things that people can invest in. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot. You just need some decent credit. So what we want people to do is just be smart. Come on our weekly calls. Our next call is going to be Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we really encourage you to come on so you can get this education. That's why we keep the price low. That's why we've been approved and certified by the IRS to teach credit, to be able to offer this low price, because we're out here helping the communities, helping families to come up. And my promise and my commitment and my dedication is to help turn people's lives around, man. I got to. That's what I do. And that's just all it is to it. And we believe in what we do, and can't nobody beat us at it, because this is something that the Lord has given us, something that we've been touched by, that we understand. You have to understand this anatomy thing, because just going in there and just deleting and scrubbing credit, that's not where it's at. It's a formula, it's a resume, it's a picture that has to be created for FICO to look at and tell the banks, this is a good client. That scrubbing, you ain't got nothing to look at. You don't have nothing to score. And all these authorized users that people tell you to put on their credit report, when it heads into an underwriter, they're going to see authorized user. They're going to see this is not your credit. This is not who you are. You bought this. You created this fictitiously. This is a manufactured credit report. This is not authentic. You got to have your own credit report reconstructed to where these things are reversed. It's your trade line. It was your car. It was your mortgage. It was your line of credit. It was your credit card. It was your student loan. All that now shows paid as agreed, 0, 0, 0, with years of history. That's you. That's your credit score. That's how it's done. And we do it far lower than anybody in the country. I'm going to tell you, if you want an honest job, you really want to be educated about credit and not hoodwinked or snookered about credit, you got to come see us. Talk to one of our agents. Get on our weekly conference calls. We'll post it up. Anything else you have for me, Edmund?
Nah, man. You if you had a mic, I mean, you need to drop one of these remotes or something, man, because people on here like preach, brother. They're loving it. People are ready to sign up. So I'm gonna tell you guys this. There was a broadcast interruption. We do have the full video recorded on another one, so we'll repost the broadcast. Please comment on things you learned on this video. Please comment on what you like, and if you are somebody that likes to get going, if somebody shared this video, connect with whoever shared it, connect with whoever you're seeing commenting on these things, and get in touch, because it worked for me, it worked for a lot of other individuals. So definitely take advantage of it. And now is the time. And you can say that, George. We can close out. Why is now so important when people get these tax returns, that this quote unquote free money, which a lot of people like to call it, which is not, it even gets taxed, but why should somebody use their tax return to invest or to put it towards credit? And then we close it out with that.
Yeah, well, just real briefly, a lot of people get this $3,500, $4,500, $5,000, whatever it may be. That kind of money, that's not, for a lot of folks, that's the most money they're going to have their hands on all year. It's not a picnic, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that you just go and just throw it away. What you want to do, like we go give it to the car man. We go get the car man the whole $4,500 to go get a 2009 BMW 745i with 168,000 miles on it. It's clean though, engine light on, but we still go ahead and get it because we're the only ones in our little neighborhood that's driving like that. That's what we think. That's how we value ourselves sometimes. It's unfortunate. But the thing we should do is keep that $4,500 in our pocket and just go get a Honda Accord for the time being for $1,000. Go ahead and get your credit restored. Then you can come back and use that $4,500 to go buy a $150,000 house, because that's all it's going to take is 3%. 3% of 150 is $4,500. Then you have your 640 credit score. Use that tax return to buy your house. Once you secure your house, then you can go out there and get you that nice car that you want to, under your terms. You don't have to give that much money away. We're giving that money away. The payment on that car is going to be $600, $700. A lot of times we're not going to be able to maintain it or keep it. And the next thing we know, our $4,500 is gone, and so is the car 60 days later. You cannot allow this over anticipation to have something nice. You wait all year long to be able to get this check. We got to be wise about it. We got to grow up. We can't do the same thing we did last year. Remember how we blew it somehow last year? We can't blow it again this year. We just can't keep it making those recidivist type of revolving door mistakes. We got to get new. When we take the action to get new with our mind and to start doing things different, then our life begins to line up differently. So that's what I got to say about the tax return. It's the most valuable, powerful check you'll have all year. Don't give it away to the car man and then give the car back in 60 days. Leverage that tax return. $4,500, $5,000 with good credit, you just leverage yourself big, because now you can get your house. And with that house that you pay $150,000 for, a year from now, that house could be worth $195,000. Another year from now, it could be worth $235,000. You see what I'm saying? What you did with that $4,500, instead of giving it to the man, letting the car go back and lost the $4,500, then you got to wait another year for this to happen again. It's just crazy. We got to be smarter, and that's what will help us to really change our inheritances, to break these curses, to help our children to say, oh, look at mom, your church members, your co-workers, they're going to be like, look at Miss Jones, look how she came up. How she do this? You know, not only are you helping yourself, but you're inspiring the other people that's around you, and they're going to want to be like you, because life is not just about us. It's about who we can inspire and who we can help.
Wow. Quick bullets. People want to know how many states, what states are you operate in, and kind of how the process works. So just kind of touch on that and we'll be done.
We operate in all 50 states, and from Alaska to Puerto Rico to Hawaii to Chicago to all over the country. We can help people, and the cost is the same. It's not a geographical cost, because people make more money in California, we're going to charge them more. No, it's the same price in California you're going to pay in Mississippi. It's $349. Basically what we do is we'll help you to get your credit reports. It takes about 7 minutes. We need something to verify your Social Security, like a Social Security card or a pay stub or W-2. Then we need something to verify your address, like a utility bill, cell phone bill, something that got your address on it. We get those 3 things, that's it. Then what we do from there is we create the information that we need to fight the 3 major credit reporting agencies. We will send this information directly on your behalf to the credit reporting agencies. You will get the responses back in 45 days or less. Okay? So when you get this information back, then you will see some of the information coming deleted. You'll see some information showing paid as agreed. We will help you to see some improvements. We don't like to overpromise. But one thing is, we deliver the best credit report that can come out of any scenario, and it'll be put together correctly so that credit report is creating points. But you also got to make sure while you're going through this that you're not creating new late payments. You're not creating more collection stuff. When you come onto our educational calls, we'll let you know how to deal with a collection. You never have to be intimidated by dealing with a collection agency. It's from T-Mobile. T-Mobile was back in 2009. That's like 7, 8 years ago. The statute of limitations in your state may only be 3 years or 4 years. So this company is illegally coming after you for a debt that you have been excused for because you've done the time. So therefore, all you have to do is send this document to them and it's over. So let us educate you. Let us show you that you can progress so much faster than you could ever think of. There's mortgage companies and car lots, and people tell you that they can't help you. Tell you the only place they can give you credit is Finger Hunt. Tell you the only place you can go is Rent-A-Center. Tell you the only thing you can go here is buy here, pay here. The only thing you can do is maybe do a lease purchase. Always giving you the dirt of the credit possibilities, making your self-esteem feel like there's no hope, that, why am I even here? I'm just giving up. I ain't worried about it no more. I'm not thinking about credit. I'm just going to have cash. That's the devil. That's the devil keeping you in a place exactly where the man want to keep you at, to where you're paying him more for everything that you do. You're giving him your overtime. You're giving him your education. You're giving him everything that your blood, sweat, tears, and your generations have come before you to work for. You're giving it away. But all you got to do is come see us. See, if you come see us, we're going to make sure you get educated truly about credit. So you really understand this game is not that complicated. It's very, very simple. But if you lost in the woods and you ain't got no GPS, you'll never find your way out. It's that wilderness thing. And we want to make sure that you have a clear path to understand how simple this thing is, like ABCs, 1, 2, 3. But if you don't never take the time to educate, don't never take the time to let an expert of companies to be able to help you, then we're going to keep getting scammed. We're going to keep getting ripped off. We're going to keep being disappointed. And disappointment is over. This is a new year, 2017. Try something different. Call us. We got free consultation. We'll help you. Thank y'all very much.
Wow. I don't even have anything else to say. Only thing I can say is, man, thank you for your time. Everybody who commented, you got a lot of comments. You got people really inspired. You really did a great job. People are loving it. So, hey, if you're watching this, comment. We want your comments. We love your comments and feedback. Take action, though. Don't just comment. Comment and connect. And if you're an agent out there, connect with people that are commenting and follow up. And also, make sure you all share this. There may be somebody, you may have good credit, but maybe a friend of yours doesn't. The statistics say that a friend of yours doesn't, right? So share this, like it, and thank you all for your time. And George, any last words?
Nah, just have faith in yourself and believe that you was placed on this earth to win. You are not a pawn. You are not something to be used, mistreated. You are not something for other people to serve off you, for other people to get rich off you. You have your own destiny that God has created for you to have your own wealth. But sometimes we have to get out of our own way. And there's no enemy within. The enemy outside can do us no wrong. So we have to go ahead and try something different and believe in ourselves, because life is not just about you. It's about them kids. It's about your mother and father who sweated and teared. It's about them folks that came before you that set up a path so that life can be better. And you got to set up a path for life to be better for what you have created. So life is not about you. So if you don't feel that you're not worth it, then do it for your responsibility, your accountability that you have. That's what you got to do it for. You got to find your reason why, your purpose of why you're here. You got to find out who you are. Why am I doing this? I'm not doing this to waste air, to waste life. I'm doing this to be great. Find out the greatness that you have in you. And that's all we got to do, and watch and see what happens.
Wow. Mic drop, man. It's over.